So we are currently going to start reading our next chapter in Nancy Drew and the Clue Crew, Scream for Ice Cream. Once again, this was written by Carolyn Keene and illustrated by Mackie Pomentwan, okay? We officially are on chapter 3. Oh man, we left ourselves on a cliffhanger, remember? Deirdre, Kendra said. She broke her promise. Let's see what happens next. Chapter 3, Backpack Attack. No way, Nancy gasped. Did Deirdre write your secret recipe on her website? No, Kendra answered, but she did write that I had a winning recipe. What's wrong with that? Nancy asked. Don't you see? Kendra asked. Now all the kids in the contest will want to steal my secret recipe. Nancy shook her head, even though she knew Kendra couldn't see her do it over the phone. They can't do that unless you tell them the recipe, she said. Besides, most of the kids we know are honest. Yeah, Kendra snorted, until they want to win free ice cream. Yeah, would you be honest if it meant you could win free ice cream for life? I don't know. It'd be hard. Kendra had hung up. Oh, click! Kendra had hung up. But Nancy wasn't worried. Tomorrow, they would all sign up for the contest. It would be so exciting that Kendra would forget about Deirdre's website. Nancy reached down to scratch Chocolate Chip behind her floppy little ears. There's Chocolate Chip. And may the best ice cream win, she declared. There it is, Bess said, pointing. Is that the most awesome building you ever saw in your whole life? And just think, Nancy said, it's filled with the yummiest ice cream in the whole wide world. It was Thursday morning. Hannah had driven Nancy, Bess, and George to the Jim and Barry's ice cream factory. A huge crowd of kids stood in front of the factory, all set to sign up for the ice cream flavor contest. Nancy could see a stage set up in front of the factory. Purple, yellow, and white balloons swept over the stage in an arch. So it was like a big arch of balloons. If this is just for the sign-up, Nancy said, I can't wait to see what they do for the contest. I'm going down the street to buy some fruits and vegetables, Hannah said. Stay here and stay together. Nancy, Bess, and George nodded. The friends all had the same rules. They could walk or ride their bikes 5 blocks from their houses, as long as they were together. Anywhere farther than that, they had to be driven by a parent or Hannah. And if you get any free ice cream samples, Hannah said with a wink, save one for me. Nancy hugged Hannah goodbye. Then the 3 excited friends joined the crowd. Music blared from the loudspeakers as kids from the River Heights Dance School tapped across the stage in ice cream cone costumes. Oh my gosh. Nancy saw their friend, Nadine Nardo, dancing with the group. Nadine wanted to be an actress and loved being on stage. But today she was frowning as her ice cream hat began tipping over her face. Mayor Strong stood on the side of the stage. He was smiling and holding a folded piece of paper in his hand. Probably his speech, Nancy thought. Mayor Strong loves making speeches. Nadine's hat fell off as she took a bow. Then the dancers tapped off the stage. Wasn't that great? Mayor Strong asked as he walked onto the stage. He put on a pair of glasses, unfolded his speech, and began to read. "You know, when I was a kid," Nancy heard George groan under her breath. Mayor Strong always talked about being a kid. We had only one ice cream parlor, and it sold only 2 flavors," Mayor Strong said. "Can you imagine that, kids?" "Is he kidding?" a voice muttered. "I'd do a handstand on a pyramid for just 1 flavor." Nancy turned around. Standing behind them was a boy from their class, Kevin Garcia. Kevin's parents owned the Mean Bean Health Food Store on River Street. Kevin wasn't allowed to eat sweets, so he always mooched snacks from everybody's lunchboxes. Mooched means to borrow or ask for. He'd ask for snacks from other people because he didn't get to have fun snack foods because his parents had the health food store. "What are you doing here, Kevin?" Nancy asked. "You're not allowed to eat ice cream." "I heard Jim and Barry are giving away free samples of ice cream," Kevin said. He leaned closer to the girls and whispered, "Got any candy on you?" "No," Nancy said. "Hey," Kevin said, "is it true that Kendra has a winning recipe for the contest?" Bess and George raised their eyebrows at Nancy. She had told them that morning about Deirdre and her website. Maybe?" Nancy blurted. "Got any gum?" Kevin asked. "No," George said, "and don't ask us again." Kevin looked disappointed. He turned around and disappeared into the crowd. "Kevin must have read Deirdre's website," Bess said. Nancy looked for Kendra and found her in the crowd. Everyone near Kendra was pointing at her. "I guess a lot of kids read Deirdre's website," Nancy said. The mayor was still giving his speech. "I even remember riding my shiny red bicycle all the way to the next town for another flavor. But when I got there, they also only had 2 flavors." 1 or 2 people in the audience laughed. "Where are Jim and Barry?" George asked. She stood on her tiptoes to see over the crowd. "I don't see them yet. They're probably scoping out the free samples." Oh no, scooping out. Yeah, they're probably scooping out the free samples, Nancy said, rubbing her tummy. "I hope it's not Marshmallow Martian," Bess said. She stuck her finger in her mouth, pretending to gag. "Yes, Bess," Nancy said with a smile. "We know how much you hate green ice cream, no matter how good it is." A voice snapped, "What's wrong with Marshmallow Martian?" Nancy, Bess, and George spun around. Standing behind them, this time, was a 4th grader, Daisy Dorfer, and members of the Jim and Barry fan club. Nancy started the club for the summer. They met every week to taste a new Jim and Barry flavor that they picked out at the supermarket. "Nothing's wrong with it," Bess said with a shrug. "It just makes me want more," Nancy cut in. "Good," Daisy said, "because Marshmallow Martian is my favorite flavor." Nancy heard Bess gagging under her breath. Nancy said, trying to switch the subject. "Are you guys entering the contest?" Peter Patino, from the girls' 3rd grade class, said, Daisy's dad bought her an electric ice cream maker. It has digital controls and everything. Now, all we need is a recipe," 4th grader Melissa Rios said. She was wearing dangly ice cream cone earrings. Daisy planted her hands on her hips. "We'll have one, okay?" she said, "and when we do, it'll be the best." "The best! The best!" the members chanted. "It better be the best," Melissa whispered to Nancy, "because we want to win more than anything." A roaring cheer made everyone face the stage. "It's them!" Daisy swooned. "Jim and Barry!" Jim and Barry waved to the crowd as they ran onto the stage. Nancy knew it was them from their picture on the ice cream containers. Jim had copper red hair and wore round wire-rimmed glasses. Barry had a beard and wore a straw hat with a bright purple hatband. "I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream!" Barry shouted. "How do you like our new factory?" Jim called out. "Pretty cool, huh?" Cheers filled the air. "Who here thinks they can make an ice cream that'll rock our worlds?" Barry asked. Nancy's hand shot up. So did dozens of others. Jim held up a clipboard. "Well then, step right up and put your names on the sign-up list," he boomed. The crowd began to squeeze into a single line. Deirdre Shannon ran over to Nancy, Bess, and George. She held up a camera and said, "Say strawberry cheesecake ice cream." "How about just cheese?" George asked. "Cheese," the three friends said as Deirdre snapped a picture. They knew the picture she was taking was for her website. "Thanks," Deirdre said. "Now I've got to get a picture of Jim and Barry." Nancy glanced back. Kendra was lining up too. Daisy was standing right behind her, trying not to be bumped by Kendra's backpack. "I'm sure Kendra's recipe is still a secret," Nancy thought. "How could anyone steal it if it's inside her head?" Nancy was about to inch her way up the line when she heard a voice yell, "Jim and Barry's flavors stink on ice!" The girls turned their head. Standing next to the line was Henderson, the son of Mr. Drippy. He was holding a sign that read, "Jim and Barry's ice cream makes me barf." That makes me throw up. Wow. "Jim and Barry's ice cream gave me cooties," Henderson shouted. "The raisins in rum raisin are really ants. The cherries in the cherry vanilla are really squishy eyeballs. Alien eyeballs." "That's gross," Bess said. "So is Jim and Barry's ice cream," Henderson said. He cackled, ha ha ha, meanly. Then he walked away, yelling, "Jim and Barry mix their ice cream with their feet." "That's one kid who won't be entering this contest," Nancy said. "He hates Jim and Barry's ice cream." The girls finally reached the sign-up list. They wrote their names neatly and clearly. "We did it," Bess said, jumping up and down. "Now all we have to do is bring our Clue Berry ice cream to the contest on Saturday," Nancy said excitedly. Next, the girls picked up their free samples of Rootin' Tootin' raspberry ice cream. They waited for Hannah as they ate out of little cups with tiny spoons. "This flavor rocks," George said. "And it's not green," Bess sighed with relief. Nancy was about to take another spoonful when Kendra ran over. Her dark eyes were flashing wildly. "My secret recipe," Kendra stammered. "Someone stole it." Oh my gosh. Someone did steal her recipe. I guess we'll have to find out what happens in Chapter 4, Supermarket Surprise, tomorrow. Alright, my friends, I look forward to reading our next chapter. That was really great. I wish I could try some Jim and Barry's ice cream. That sounds really delicious, especially the raspberry flavor. I love raspberry ice cream. Alright, my friends, I'll see you later. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye!